Well, international efforts to broker a truce deal between Israel and Hamas appear to have gained fresh momentum. Senior officials from Israel, the United States, Qatar and Egypt will meet in Paris today for talks on a potential deal to free about 100 hostages still stuck in Gaza. Israeli media say that the war cabinet has approved sending a team of negotiators led by Mossad chief to the French capital. The head of the Israeli intelligence agency is expected to meet his US and Egyptian counterparts. Qatar's prime minister will also be involved in the discussions. The new round of international talks comes as Israel releases a plan for post-war Gaza. According to the Times of Israel, Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime minister, has proposed the installation of local officials without links to Hamas or its foreign backers to govern the enclave. He also envisioned, quote, an indefinite freedom to operate, the presence of the Israeli military there. Some elements of the reported proposal conflict with Washington's vision for post-war Gaza, though. The Palestinian presidency has rejected the plan, saying that it will continue Israel's occupation of the Palestinian territories and prevent the establishment of a Palestinian state. According to the Gaza Health Ministry, Israel's campaign to eliminate Hamas has killed nearly 30,000 people since October. Overnight, Israeli bombardment targeted parts of Gaza's southern city of Rafah, which holds some 1.4 million Palestinians who are seeking refuge there. Israel has said that Rafah is the next target of the ground invasion, despite global appeals against the move. For more, Sarah Coates joins us. She's live for us from Tel Aviv. Sarah, we are expecting to see some negotiations in Paris, but will there be a breakthrough there?
Dawn, there is quiet optimism here in Israel. That's what we're hearing from a number of unnamed officials of a potential breakthrough in these talks. The decision to actually send this Israeli delegation was made very, very late last night after it was confirmed that a number of these hostages who are being held inside Gaza received medicine that was sent to them some weeks ago. Now, we can tell you that the delegation led by the Mossad chief, David Barnea, they left Tel Aviv about half an hour ago en route to the French capital. And as you mentioned, very high level, very sensitive talks, including the CIA boss, also Bill Burns, the Qatari prime minister, and the Egyptian spy chief. Now, these talks come on the back of those talks in Cairo, which the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu pulled out of just last week, citing Hamas's demands as, quote, delusional. Now, we do know that this Hamas delegation that's been in Cairo for the last 3 or so days has also left Cairo, while the US Mideast envoy Brett McGurk, he has been here in Israel. He held a number of high-level talks with the Prime Minister, also with the Defence Minister Yoav Gallant last night, with the United States calling this constructive. So there is, as I said, Dawn, some quiet optimism here in Israel. And according to one other anonymous source very close to these talks, there are indications that Israel and Hamas are willing to negotiate on an interim deal, which could see around 35 of these Israeli captives released, people who are sick, people who are elderly, with an unknown, rather, number of Palestinian prisoners released from Israeli jails in return.
Sarah, meantime, the Israeli military claims to have killed a member of a militant group in a drone strike over the West Bank. What can you tell us about that?
Dawn, this happened in the West Bank refugee camp of Jenin in the very early hours of this morning. Very, very wild pictures, really, you can only say, coming through from the Israeli Defense Forces of this drone strike on a car. We are hearing now that 2 people were actually killed. Israel says that they were Palestinian Islamic Jihad operatives, that they were on their way to carry out a terror attack. They have been identified as Syed Yarada and Yasser Hanoun. And Hanoun was previously jailed here in Israel on terror-related offences. This strike also reportedly killed a 17-year-old child and also injured 5 or so others. And Dawn, really what we've been seeing since October 7 are daily raids daily occurrences similar to this in the West Bank, with Israel saying it is trying to root out terror operatives, although people there say that this is simply collective punishment.
Sarah, thank you for that. Sarah Coates in Tel Aviv.